What's up, y'all? Welcome back. This is Bales with Southern For Real. It's another Friday, and you know that means it's Cook Your Wife Something Delicious night at our house. So this week, my wife asked for crab nachos. So you know what I said? Yes, ma'am. And for all you young men out there who are thinking about popping the question, just start working on your yes ma'ams right now. So, like I said, we're going to be knocking out crab nachos tonight. And, you know, when your wife requests crab nachos for Cook Your Wife Something Delicious night, she's really doing you a favor, because what she's really saying is, if you just stack up a bunch of stuff on some tortilla chips, you're going to make me happy. You don't even really have to be able to cook. So, first things first, in order to heat this crab up, this crab's actually already cooked. So we're just going to steam it to reheat it. So we've got a pot going with a couple inches of water in it over a medium-high heat. And it just makes sense to me to go ahead and salt that water. You know, this crab lived its life in a marine environment, so we're going to add a little salt flavor back to it as we warm it up. We're also just going to toss a small pat of butter into a saucepan to melt. We're going to brush our crab with it towards the end of the steaming process just to add a little layer of flavor and give our seasoning something to adhere to. Get a little heat going under that eye. Alright, so our next step is just laying down a base of chips. I'm just taking a sheet pan, covered it with aluminum foil. So we're just going to get these all spread out. These are going to be the foundation for everything else. And we're just going to get them kind of evenly spread out in the shape of our platter. You got that, men? So far we're spreading out chips. Everybody good? Alright, so our next important step is we're going to take half of our shredded cheese. This happens to be a drunken goat cheese just because we're trying to avoid dairy right now. This could be Monterey Jack, it could be cheddar, it could be American. Alright, so we're just taking half of the cheese and we're spreading it out. We're spreading cheese. Very easy. Just putting half of it down first. And we're going to get all of our other ingredients down, and then we're going to go on with the other half. Alright, so it's been maybe a couple minutes. Our butter's already melted in the saucepan, and we've got steam in our boiler here. So we're just going to go ahead and go in with our crab. Just going to drop it all right in. And I'm just going to break up this crab meat a little bit so that it warms as evenly as possible. As I said earlier, this meat is actually already cooked, so all we need to do is just bring it back to the temperature that we want to enjoy it at. Alright, that looks good. We're just going to recover it with our lid and let it steam. So our crab's been steaming now for about 10 minutes, and it's actually starting to smell like crab in here, so we know it's ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the lid from that steamer. Grab this butter that we melted earlier. We're just going to drizzle that lightly right over the top. That's just going to help our blackened seafood seasoning adhere. Obviously, some of it's going to be passing all the way through down into the pot, and that's just fine. And we're going to go on with some of our blackened seafood seasoning here. We'll include a link to this below. This is a staple here in the South, y'all. Butter is going to add a little richness to the flavor of the crab, and this seasoning is just going to make it delicious. So we're just going to give that a little toss. You can see I'm wearing a rubber glove on the hand that's holding onto the pot. That's because it's hot, y'all. Remember, this has been just steaming away, so you don't want to go for that with your bare hand. Alright, that looks great. And now we're just going to go ahead and lay down our crab over our nachos. Now, guys, don't think you have to be making crab nachos just because we are. This could be any protein that you have on hand. This could easily be chorizo. You could get fancy with it and do flank steak. You could do ground beef. You could do any of a number of things. And if you're not into the meat thing, I actually think sauteed mushrooms would be delicious with nachos. Damn, honey, this is a lot of crab. I guess if we're hungry tonight, it's going to be our own fault. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and add on the rest of our goat cheese. Now remember, y'all, this is drunken goat cheese. And if you've ever been to Barcelona and stumbled out of a little place called La Cabra Baracha onto Las Ramblas. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. So this cheese is always kind of a sentimental favorite of mine because it reminds me of that place. Let's get the rest of this cheese on here. We'll have these built up and ready to go in the oven. I've already got the oven preheated to 350 degrees. I like to start them in the regular oven, and then after 2 minutes I'm going to go to a broil. So those are looking really good. We're going to go ahead and pop them in just like that. And 2 minutes is all they need. Alright, our nachos have been in the 350 degree oven for exactly 2 minutes. So we're just going to turn off the bake, and we're going to go to a high broil. Work, brain! And now we got to keep a close eye on them. Once you go to a high broil, guys, you're dealing with serious heat, and you don't want to burn the crab, and you don't want to overmelt this cheese. So we're just going to keep an eye on them through the window. They're probably only going to need a minute to a minute and a half, and they're going to be done. All right, y'all, it's been right at about another 2 minutes, and these nachos are sounding and looking hot. So we're getting them out of there. All right, so the final phase with nachos is the topping phase. So we're just going to go on with some sour cream, just like that, and some salsa. Woo! Don't get your hand against the pan, y'all. It will burn you. So we're just looking to kind of scatter this across our nachos. That looks great. And then lastly, I'm going to add some avocados. We've got one here that feels like it might have a little bit of a soft spot, so we're just going to see what we got here. Yep. That one's for the trash, so let's try this one. Y'all know the deal with avocados, right? Not yet, not yet, not yet. Too late. All right, so we're just going to remove the pit of our avocado. And I'm just going to use the point of the blade to score it and cube it. And we're just going to get this scooped out and onto our nachos. Remember, y'all, this is basically just an exercise in stacking. So I like to say, if you can cook Cheerios, you can cook this dinner. All right, so just for review, we've got our drunken goat cheese on. We've got our crab on, which we seasoned with butter and blackened seasoning. We've got salsa, sour cream, and fresh avocado. It's going to be delicious, y'all. So that's all there is to building dinner tonight. You know we got to take a bite. And the rule at our house is, if it sticks together, it's one nacho. So, you know, go big. So I probably already have it all over my face. Those are delicious, y'all. This is going to be a delicious cook your wife something delicious night on Friday. We're about to go outside and enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you to all of you who are in harm's way this evening. Thank you for everything you do. Take care.